Hey, how are you? Today we're here at 16 Meriam. It is a beautiful Victorian style home in the heart of Lexington. And I'll tell you one thing, it is not just a house, it is a home. It's a place to create, to entertain, to elevate your life. So I was just about to make some chicken piccata. Why don't you come on in and we'll dish some details. Welcome, we're here in the kitchen at 16 Meriam. Like I said earlier, we're making chicken piccata. I'm gonna start prepping all of I'm gonna mince the shallots, mince some garlic, zest, chop. We're gonna do a bunch of different stuff here. I really love all of the counter space you get here, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but we're not using any professional lighting here. All of this light is natural, that's just kind of coming in from the different rooms. I'm gonna try and mince the shallot up as finely as I can, because my goal is kind of to let it almost melt into the sauce. All right, so the shallots are pretty finely minced, nothing too crazy. And then garlic, I just did one large shallot, by the way. Garlic is something that I like to measure with my heart. I do most of my recipes to taste. Now I'm mincing the garlic, I'm just roughly doing it. I smashed it to make it a little bit easier to kind of break it up, but other than that, I'm just gonna roughly chop it. Just like that, it's just a rough mince. It's kind of a throw together dish, but the end result will be perfect. It will be delicious and comforting. Got my parsley. Parsley is washed, dried, that kind of stuff. Make sure you wash your parsley because it gets a lot of gross stuff in there. And stems are fine, you don't just need the leaves. This stem is huge, so I will be omitting that. But the rest of it, go for it. Lemons are in season. So this is also one of my favorite things to make when lemons are in season. And I'm doing the juice of 2 lemons, but I'm only gonna do the zest of 1. Geez, this is a workout. I guess you could just do this if you don't wanna go downstairs and use the gym. This works. This works too. I like to zest my lemon this way. That way, I think it's easier. I think the strands are prettier, they're long, and I think you actually get to use almost all of the zest off of the lemon. But I have my capers drained and dried, so all of my produce is prepped, ready to go. I'm gonna put this next to the stove and we'll move on to chicken. All right, so now that we've done a little bit of a cleanup, little reset, we're gonna start prepping the chicken, because once that's done, the rest of the stuff will move really quickly. So I wanna make sure that everything's done. I'm going to butterfly them and then pound them to about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just gonna run my knife down the center. I'm letting the knife do the work, and I'm keeping my hand flat to avoid cutting myself. I'm gonna finish cutting the rest and then we'll pound them out. Okay, so the chicken has been butterflied. I'm gonna cover it with saran wrap to pound it out, just to kind of protect it. But I keep getting distracted by the view. It's really beautiful. There's the pool out there, you have an outdoor kitchen. The landscaping is also, you can tell, they put quite a bit of love into it. So I'm pounding these out, I think I already mentioned, to about 1/4 of an inch. I'm just trying to get them to be able to cook evenly and quickly. And we will continue with the rest, and I will see you in a bit for the dredging. Okay, so now I'm just gonna make the flour dredge for the chicken. It's easy as pie, easier than pie, actually. I'm doing about I'd say 3/4 cup of flour. And then we're just gonna do salt and pepper to taste. Maybe about 1.5 teaspoons. Nothing too crazy, but I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. And then we're just it's just a light dredge. It's really, honestly, it's to help encourage browning on the chicken, and it'll leave some fond on the bottom, which adds a lot of flavor. It's not like we're frying, right? We're not getting like a crispy coating. So it's light, and we're just gonna tap it off. I like to lightly kind of tap the chicken with my fingers to make sure that it's coating evenly, and we're not gonna have any bald spots. Perfect. And then just a little tap to kind of get the excess off. And we will continue with this, and I will see you at the stove. So the pot is heating up. I'm gonna add like 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And I know that sounds like a lot, but not for what we're doing. All right, you'll know your oil's hot enough when you hit your chicken in the pan and you can kind of hear the sizzle. And so what I'm doing is I'm just gonna kind of press on the chicken to make sure that it makes even contact with the pan, so that, again, it cooks evenly, it browns evenly, and it's just evenly delicious. I'm gonna let these fry for probably about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. You'll start to see the cooked chicken around the edges, and that's kind of how you'll know when it's time to flip. The thing about this is that it is gonna cook kind of quickly, so using chicken breast, just be careful not to dry it out. Our water is boiling, everything else is prepped, so I'll see you when the chicken's done, I guess. All right, so I have the rest of the chicken fried up. We have the last 2 pieces in here. That looks pretty good to me. I have a beautiful Maillard reaction on this chicken, and we've created some really nice fond on the bottom of the pot, which will add to the flavor. Gonna get our pasta going. I'm gonna add a pound of pasta. I don't wanna add too much water because I am gonna save some of this pasta water. I do want it to get nice and starchy to kind of help with the texture and consistency of our sauce. So I'm gonna crank the heat down to about a medium, maybe a medium low. Nothing too hot. I just don't want my goal is not to burn the butter or the shallots or the garlic. Shallots in, and I'm gonna cook these down until they are soft, translucent, and fragrant. So now I'm gonna add in the garlic. And the garlic, I'm really only cooking for about 30 seconds. Again, I'm really only cooking it so that it gets fragrant. That's all. We're gonna add a hefty amount of wine. Probably about a cup, but this is going to deglaze the bottom of the pan, get all that fond, all those good brown bits up. I love cooking with wine in the meal, in a glass. I have just under 2 cups of chicken stock here. Just gonna add that. And then this is just gonna cook down. I'm probably gonna let it reduce by maybe a third. All right, so the sauce is reduced a bit. It's simmering away. I'm gonna add lemon juice and the zest that we did earlier. And I'm gonna add all of these capers. It's about a jar of capers, like one of those tall, skinny jars. Our pasta's just about done, so I'm going to drain that, and then we're gonna pop it back into the sauce to kind of finish up in the sauce. Then we'll add the chicken, and we'll go from there. So I cooked the pasta like a minute or 2 shy of al dente, because I kind of want it to finish in the sauce. What's gonna happen is it's going to release its starches. It's going to thicken up the sauce so you don't need as much pasta water. But it's also finishing a pasta in its sauce is gonna kind of help infuse that pasta with its flavors. It's gonna start absorbing everything around it. And you'll have a well-seasoned and flavorful bite throughout. Place my chicken, nestle it right on top. And then any juices that have accumulated in the tray, I'm gonna add as well. Just kind of nestling everything down in the pasta, in the sauce. I'm gonna pop a lid on the Dutch oven, and we're gonna let it sit for probably 3 minutes, not long, just so that everything kind of heats up and it becomes one cohesive meal. All right, so it's been a few minutes. Our chicken's come up to temp. Pasta's cooked through. Sauce looks great. Let's dish it up. And there you have it, chicken piccata. Let's go eat. And here we have it, chicken piccata. It's simple and it's timeless, just about as timeless as this home. 16 Meriam has a lot to offer, so come take a look at our website, take a look at the home in person. Let me know what you think. And I will see you next time for dishing the details.